So yeah, I'm back in the kitchen again, whipping up something else. I got a sweet tooth, so I have a 9x13 pan. You can call it a cookie sheet if you want. It's not deep at all. I have greased it with some coconut cooking spray. You can also use some olive oil cooking spray or any cooking spray. I also have two mixing bowls that will be used today. And then my oven has already started to be preheated to 350 degrees. So in the very first bowl, you want to take 2 2/3 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You want to take 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you want to kind of whisk them all together and set it aside. I like how all the dry ingredients get added together first. So I'm just going to kind of mix this up. So in our second bowl, you want to take 2 cups packed, pack your measuring cup full of brown sugar. You want 2 cups packed. Now, I'm not using melted butter, I'm using olive oil, but you want to have at least a cup of butter. I'm going to use about a half a cup of olive oil, and I'm going to pour this in. And I'm going to start to stir it just a little bit at a time to kind of get it. And then we're also going to add our egg whites in as well to kind of mix it in a little bit at a time. So I'm going to do about half of my egg whites. I'm using about a third of a cup, which should be about 2 eggs. So I'm going to start to mix this. You want to mix this by hand for up to 3 minutes, or you can use your hand mixer if you like. Just needs to get everything completed. It should have a kind of caramel texture to it when you finish it, okay? After you get this stirred and everything is nice and combined, you're going to start to add your dry product to it, okay? That's our flour that we had, our baking powder. You want to slowly pour that in just a little bit by little bit, okay? So I just added my flour. I'm going to kind of fold it in and mix it in with my wet ingredients. This is only about half of my flour right now. And finally, we want to add a tablespoon of vanilla. Get that all mixed in. And then once that's combined, we can lay these cookies out on our cookie dough out on our baking sheet to get it baked in the oven. So I'm adding it to the pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to manipulate it to be as flat and level as possible on the pan so that it can bake evenly. I'm just going to be kind of moving it and swishing it around. And then I'm going to use my rubber spatula at the end to kind of, with a little bit of cooking spray on the back end to kind of smooth it out a little bit more. But I'll show you what this looks like here in a second. So next we need to do our Snickerdoodle topping magic, which is I use about 1/4 of a cup of sugar, another 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and then 1 big huge tablespoon of cinnamon. And I kind of just mix it together because this is going to be the magical sprinkles that we have on the top of our Snickerdoodles. So I'm just going to mix this in. This is a 1 cup measuring cup that I'm using right now because I don't want to dirty up any more bowls. And we are just going to kind of create this topping. And I'm just going to mix it in until it's all combined and it looks about Snickerdoodle-esque. And then I'm going to just sprinkle it right over our cookie dough. Now I know me, so I'm going to take a smaller teaspoon because I'll dump all of this in one section. And I'm just going to kind of cover what I can slowly because I'm horrible at even distribution when it comes to like toppings like this. It'll be like all in one section. So I'm going to finish sprinkling this out, and then I will send you all a picture of what this looks like when it's all done. Okay, voila. So these need to bake in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to check them at 25 minutes. Again, these are chewy bars, so they don't need to be as firm, but we don't want them to be too chewy to where it's kind of still like dough in the middle. And you have to remember, we did use eggs. So we have to make sure that we are not playing with Sam and Ella today, all right? They are not invited to the baking good today. We do not need salmonella at all in this. So I'm going to put these in the oven, 25 minutes. I'll poke them with the toothpick again. We'll do the poke test, and then I still have some left over. So I might top it again after they come out, just because I know the heat will allow the sugar, both of the different types of sugar to caramelize. So here we go. So the cookies are now cooling. They should be a little bouncy to the touch. I did lift one corner up to see if they were cooked underneath, and they were. I don't want to overcook them, so I took them out at 20. Oh, I got splatters on my stuff. I need to clean it. But I took them out at 25 minutes, and I think I'm going to let them finish cooling for another 10 before I actually take a bite out of one of them. This is supposed to get you anywhere between 15 to 20 bars. We will see. I might cut them to be a little bit smaller than that, because I feel like this 9 by 13 pan is going to yield a lot more than just that.